We got a doozy today.
This show is intended for mature audiences only. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hello, humans, and welcome to another episode of Gen X Gamer, guys. Oh my gosh. Insider trading. It happens all the time in Wall Street, but you don't usually see it in the video game industry, but now we have. Now we absolutely have. Let me show you the story. Yuji Naka, you might know him as the creator of Sonic, right? He got busted for insider trading in Japan. Let me tell you guys, insider trading, whenever people get busted for that, they get convicted a lot of times, right? It's the majority of the times they get busted. In the US, sometimes you have to pay a fine if it's not that big, but usually you're going to jail, right? Maybe one of the nicer jails, but your ass is going to prison. Let me tell you, when you think of, for example, Martha Stewart and Snoop Dogg, right? Remember them? You know, the only one who actually got convicted was Martha Stewart of insider trading. And, so bad she refused to watch Orange is the New Black. But in Japan, it's a little bit different. You know why? Because even though Japan is very lenient in a lot of ways, when it comes to getting arrested, yikes, they are very strict. Japan's conviction rate is usually about 90-95%, right? So they don't arrest you until they really, really have something. And this one here is easy to see. I'll put a link down below to this article, but, I'm just going to give you the small notes here. Basically, him and a couple of other employees, an ex-employee, bought shares in a company that was going to do business with a cell phone game with Square Enix, right? How can that benefit you? It's very simple, guys. When you have a smaller company that has stock, you can buy that stock usually for less than $1. I don't know how much the stock was in this case, but I'm just giving you examples. Again, not financial advice. So you can buy a stock, say that it's 25 cents, right? And if you have inside knowledge that that company is going to sign a very huge contract, a high value item that they're going to be selling, you know that stock is going to go through the roof. So what do? You buy at the 25 cents, knowing that that stock could go up to $2, $3, $5, even more. It depends what the deal is, right? But you wouldn't do it unless you had that inside information. That's why it's illegal. You have an unfair advantage in the market. And guys, a lot of people think that the market is a place to get rich quick. No, there's ups and downs. Does it happen that you get rich quick overnight sometimes? Yes, just like the lottery, but it's hard work, right? It takes dedication and it takes time, right? It takes time, especially if you start from nothing. But this gentleman over here, he's the creator of Sonic. I mean, that gives you one leg up on the almost entire planet, right? You could start from zero, but if you created Sonic, that's like waking up with $100 every day, right? But greed is a bad servant, right? It's a bad thing to have by your side. You can have ambition, you can have goals, but greed is something else. Greed is when you already have something and you want more. You can't get enough. God knows why these guys did these things, but it looks like they bought like 162,000 shares. That is a shitload of money that they could have made, right? And that is why they probably got popped here, and they have everything to convict them, or else they wouldn't have done any of this. I'm telling you, this doesn't look good for these guys. This is a company here, looks like. They make a lot of cell phone games. Here's Square Enix right here. So if they had inside information that there's another deal coming, that wouldn't be good. That would not be good for this gentleman here. And for what? I mean, what are you gaining? Nothing. Sometimes greed will not make you see what you're going to lose. You're just thinking about what you're going to win, right? And one of the worst places to get busted, like I said, is Japan, because most likely he's not getting it out. Now that he's been arrested, he's in. It's just a matter of when and how much, what the fines are going to be, right? But he's probably looking at prison time here. If Martha Stewart can get out in the U.S., which is tends to be a little bit friendlier to investors, but the Japanese government is not going to mess around with this. I think they're going to make an example of him. And that's the sad part, guys. What about his legacy, right? Are you going to think about him the same? I mean, most people are not going to find out the story, but once you know that he's this money hungry, are you going to see him the same? What about his legacy? It's stained. Was it worth it? Was it worth insider trading? If you had to ask me, no. What about your reputation? Was it worth your reputation? No. Right? The family shame. I mean, all those things that go along with it. But not only that, guys. Think of it this way. Who's going to want to work with him again? Right? Would you? Knowing that he's going to use whatever company secrets he has in order to to make more money? Well, maybe next time it's not insider trading. Maybe next time he'll just sell the secret to somebody else. You can't trust people like that, right? In business, it's different if you're an entertainer because they're just, what are they going to take from you, right? But when it comes to business, something completely different, especially when you get into these situations where you have, knowledge of what's going on inside of a company or what you're going to be doing as far as marketing or what products you're working on. If a game is going to be good or not. You can short a stock, right? Which would be the opposite. But, I mean, was it worth it? No. You were a legend. You created Sonic the Hedgehog. There's so many people out there that would trade places with you in a heartbeat. There's many investors that would trade places with you in a heartbeat. Forget about, just regular people. And to this, to this day, nobody can explain why this gentleman did it. Was he in debt? Does he have some sort of problem? Was it just greed, which is, 90% of the time? Who knows? But let's learn, from these people. Guys, there is no get rich quick in investing. There might be certain exceptions, right, where people can do it. Even people with money, right? Usually it's a long grind for everybody. Beating the stock market is very, very hard, right? And it's not going to happen overnight. It takes time. It takes time, but you know what? It's worth it because if you do it the right way, you get to keep your reputation, you get to keep your money, you get to keep your freedom. And most of all, you don't have to worry about about not dropping the soap when you're going to go to sleep for a few years. All right, guys. I'll catch you on the next one. This is a sad story, but, it happens all the time. It's just a shame that it happened to the creator of Sonic. I will catch you on the next one. Take care.
New videos every week. Make sure you don't miss out and subscribe.